to my channel. I've got a big stack of books to unwrap today. So I've been waiting to open these for quite some time. This is my loot, all my books I've gotten from Paperbackswap over the 5 months that I was gone on my road trip. And so now I get to open them all, and I totally forgot what any of these books are, so it's gonna be pretty exciting to open them up, so let's go. All right, first book is, Winona LaDuke's All Our Relations. So I don't know when I first found out about Winona LaDuke. She is an indigenous woman who lives in Minnesota, I believe, and she's an activist. I'll just read the back. This eagerly awaited nonfiction debut by acclaimed Native environmental activist Winona LaDuke is a thoughtful and in-depth account of Native resistance to environmental and cultural degradation. So, excited about that. Oh, okay. See, I forgot about that one. I think this one's a fairly new one. This is the Wind-Up Bird Chronicle by Haruki Murakami. I'm not sure if I said that right. I'm pretty sure this was on, I saw this on a best book list from last year. Oh wait, maybe not, because that was published in 97. In 1997, okay. I thought this was a new book, so maybe not. But I think I just saw it on a book list last year, so thought it looked interesting. Next one is Animal Liberation, A New Ethics for Our Treatment of Animals by Peter Singer. I think I recently learned about this when I was pet sitting in New York City. All these papers keep coming up. When I was pet sitting in New York City, the woman I was pet sitting for told me about this book. She's a vegan. I eat a vegetarian vegan diet, mostly flexitarian. And so I think she told me about this book, and I thought I should check it out. It obviously looks older, so it was probably published quite a while ago. Let's see, 1975. So obviously I'm sure some new progress has been made in this front, but. All right, this one's coming from Vermont, which is one of my favorite places. This is Pilgrim at Tinker Creek by Annie Dillard. I think some people would probably say that this is a classic piece, but I had never heard of it. One of the authors that I follow, she writes about through hiking, and she listed this as one of her favorite books, and so I was interested and intrigued. And then recently I have a piece that's going to be published in an anthology, and some of my the responses I've gotten was that my piece reminded them of this, or this reminded, anyway. So I'm looking forward to reading this one. It's labeled as a biography and autobiography. So, is the story of a dramatic year in Virginia's Blue Ridge Valley. Annie Dillard sets out to see what she can see. Well, that's interesting. Okay, I didn't realize that was going to be set in Virginia or the Blue Ridge. And since I have spent much time in Virginia in the Blue Ridge Mountains, that'll be interesting. I was thinking that this was actually set more out west, so that's cool. All right, next book. Okay, this one's Chemistry by, I can't pronounce their name, and this looks like this was at a library because it has the coating over it. Oh, you can say, it says discard. So this was in the Public Library of Cincinnati. and it was discarded. That's interesting because I thought this was fairly recent. Let's look at the publishing date. 2017. That's interesting why they're discarding that already. It's such a new book. I'm not sure where I first heard about this at. Yeah, I'm not totally sure what it's about. Chemistry, love, maybe. All right. See, you're seeing it before I am. Ariel by Sylvia Plath. Okay, interesting. I totally forgot about this. Obviously, I think many people have heard of her book, The Bell Jar, and that's the only book I ever knew of hers. But this is poems by her, and I can't remember how I first heard about it, but probably in some article I read recommending this, so I wanted to check it out. Yeah, that'll be nice. So, have you heard of any of these books that I've gotten? Are they all new to y'all? Oh my god, this is just like completely coated in tape. I don't even know how to like open this. Oh my god, this is gonna take forever. This one is Mississippi Solo by Eddie Harris, memoir. So I probably heard about this because I rode the Mississippi River a couple years ago from source to sea, and just like hiking the AT, I'm interested in all books the AT, all books about Mississippi River, adventure books like that. So yeah, and this one is special, I guess, because let's see, it's the book that launched the career of America's premier African-American memoirist and travel writer. The true story of a young black man's quest to canoe the length of the Mississippi from Minnesota to New Orleans. So that'll be nice to read his experience on the river, because mine was not so great. You can watch all of my videos about that. It was definitely the hardest adventure I have undergone. And that's mostly because I was by myself and exposed to the elements on the river. You cannot get away from the sun just beating down on you. So, and just the pain of the physical pain was pretty difficult to endure. Next one is The Merry Spinster. Tales of Everyday Horror. Exciting. Mallory Ortberg. Where did I hear about this? I might have heard about this from a friend who is very into this kind of stuff. She might have read that and mentioned something about it. So, we'll see. We'll check it out. It's a small book. Should be fun. A light reading compared to some of my more intense books. What could this be? Oh wow, okay, that's a huge book. Flaming Iguanas. An all-girl road novel thing. So this is quite a big book. It's a little bit unusual. But this looks like it might be a fairly unusual book. It's got like some pictures, and so I think I actually heard about this because I used to listen to a podcast about road travel, women on the road, and so I think that they probably compiled a list of like great road trip books, and so this was probably on it since it said it's a road novel thing. So hey, maybe I'm leaving tomorrow on a road trip to Montana, so maybe I'll take this to read on my trip. So cool, excited about that one. Now, I think I remember what this one is. It has to be this one because I remember that I had gotten this book. So it's got to be this one. See, I just have too many books to read in too little time. It gives me anxiety to think of all the books that I need to read. I just don't have time. All right, After the Fall by Ben Rhodes. I'm excited about that one. It's Being America in the World We've Made. So I know about this book because I listened to Pod Save the World. It's in that Crooked Media that has Pod Save America, Pod Save the People, Pod Save the World. I listen to all of those. That's how I get a lot of my news. And so Ben Rhodes used to work in the Obama administration, and he is the co-host of Pod Save America, Pod Save the World. And he also wrote another book, The World as It Is, a memoir of the Obama White House, and that's also on my list, but I haven't got that one yet. So this one actually just came out, I believe in 2021. I didn't realize it came out this year. Wow, that's exciting. I thought it came out last year. Well, technically, today is 2022. So it did come out last year, 2021. So this is, yeah, like a hardback book, brand new. You know, I imagine someone bought this immediately when it came out and then wanted to continue it on and pass it along. So that's really awesome to get such a new book like that. And that's because when I follow authors and I know of their book coming out, you know, they do a pre-order or whatever. And obviously I do want to support authors that I like and buy their book new and maybe even autographed. And I do that a lot more recently now because there are authors that I follow consistently now. Whereas I used to not do that because, I mean, social media. So I could have bought this new, you know, to support him, but I didn't. And so I got it through Paperbackswap. And yeah, so he references this book a lot on the podcast. I'll just read this little blurb in here. It says, "Why isn't democracy so threatened in America and around the world? And what can we do about it?" A former White House aide and close confidant to President Barack Obama and the New York Times bestselling author travels the globe in a deeply personal, beautifully observed quest for answers. So I know he traveled the world, interviewed activists in different countries about, you know, authoritarianism that's, you know, growing around the world. Looking forward to reading that. And that's about it. Well, that is it. That's all the books I got over the past 5 months on paperbackswap.com. I highly recommend it. I always tell people to get on that. I think that's what I was saying earlier is that, yeah, once I find out an author that I like has a book coming out, I go to paperbackswap.com like that day and put in the ISBN number, and it might not even have like a cover picture yet because it like they just put it out, and and it's not even published yet, right? And so I have that for several other people that I know have a book coming out this year. I put in their ISBN number last year, and I'm like the first one in line to get it whenever it's published and whenever someone buys it and puts it on paperbackswap.com, right? So hopefully I will get those sooner because I'm further down in the list instead of, you know, 200th in line. So it's you know, like I might get, which this year I feel like I got a lot. This past year I feel like I got a lot of books, you know, at least a dozen books this year. So, you know, a book a month, that's pretty good, you know, because a lot of these I can't find locally or, you know, go into thrift stores or Friends of the Library. So it's exciting to get a book that's been on your list for years, you know, and I really enjoy it, and I highly recommend you checking it out. And I've got a lot of other videos talking more about how the website works and all that. But for now, I'm gonna go put some of these in my bookshelf and then pick out, which is one of my most favorite parts is to pick out the books that I'm gonna take with me on the road trip. So I'll probably end up taking, because I'm gonna be gone for several months. Who knows actually how long I'm gonna be gone, but I'm gonna pick maybe 4 or 5 books to take with me. And so that's always fun to have to pick which ones I'm gonna read next. And then if I read those while I'm gone, then I'm sure I'll find books at the thrift store or somewhere along the way that will add to my collection. So here's to 2022 and reading more books and maybe reading some of these this year. So keep reading in 2022.